You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
And today we have another Cabral House Call. So our second edition of the weekend. Love answering your questions. Can't wait to get started. So please do feel free to, you know what? Besides just your questions, you can go to stephencabral.com/ask Cabral. I'd love to hear your suggestions, not just questions for the house call, but how can I make the Cabral concept better for you? What more would you like to see? Would you like to change it in the days from the motivation and mindset Monday, the total wellness Tuesday, the weight loss Wednesday, the training Thursday, the Friday review, and the 2 weekend house calls? Is there another subject that you'd like to hear about? Can I talk about anything else that you'd like, or is there one that you don't like? I'm open to that as well. This show is for you. I want to just share with you the thousands and thousands of books that I've read, the 20 years of practice working with wellness clients and weight loss clients as well, and just share with you, again, what works just great in the real world that I see working, but it's also backed up by real science. So please feel free to share those suggestions. I'd love to read them personally. All right, the first question today, let's get right into it, is from Hippie Mom. Hippie Mom is asking, how do you recommend taking apple cider vinegar to improve health and digestion? Okay, so apple cider vinegar, it has to be the raw, unfiltered type. I always just recommend the Bragg's, and it has to have that stuff on the bottom called the mother, which is that stuff that kind of looks a little gross. It's just kind of like these floating particles, and you need that. So that's really, really important. Okay, so first off, you're doing that. You're doing the organic Bragg's. Great. You're going to shake that up. Just really give it a good shake. Make sure all those little particles are floating around, and then I want you to add about 3 tablespoons or somewhere around a couple ounces. And I want you to take that and I want you to add it to about 6 ounces of warm water, okay? So not cold water, just warm water, or you can add it to a tea. It can be hot water as well. So what you do is you have a ratio of about a 3-to-1 ratio from water to apple cider vinegar. And I've read in different sources, I've kind of looked at this, it can actually be straight apple cider vinegar, so it doesn't really matter. But in terms of most people's drinking preferences and also the dilution ratio, somewhere around 3 to 4 parts of water to 1 part of apple cider vinegar. I simply say this, do about 6 to 8 ounces, a normal glass of water, add about 2 ounces of apple cider vinegar, which is just a little bit more than a shot glass worth, and you'll be at the perfect ratio. And so that is how I recommend the ratio. And then once you do take it, well, people really do enjoy taking it first thing when they wake up. It kind of cleanses their body. Not kind of, it does cleanse the body. It helps put acidity in the stomach, and then it moves through the stomach and ends up being alkaline in the tissues, and that's because it is coming from alkaline-based substances such as apples. And so when you're looking at that, really, really great. A lot of people just do water and lemon when they wake up, and that's good too. You could add this to your lemon water. That would be fine as well. The other great time to take this, and this is when I usually use it in my practice, how I recommend it to people, is that you're taking it, again, as a hot tea or at least in some room temperature or warm water, and you're sipping it before a meal and then a little bit during a meal. And what does that do? Well, it does it. It aids in digestion. It helps you break down food better. It is a vinegar. It is acid coming into the body, the initial part of the body, and it's going to help, again, break down foods in the stomach. As long as you're using proper food combining, right? Of course. So if you're having this meal with proteins, that's going to help break that down. So apple cider vinegar really can be great for most people. The only people I haven't seen it be great for is some people. Now, some people it's great if they have allergies. It works phenomenally well to balance out those acidity and alkalinity-based issues if that's where your allergies stem from. But if your allergies stem from a higher histamine from candida buildup or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth buildup, then apple cider vinegar can actually exacerbate that. And I've seen that in my practice as well. So what can you do? Well, you can simply test it out for yourself. That's the best thing you can always do. Try it for a couple days. If your eyes start to get itchy afterwards, if you start to get hives, if your stomach gets itchy, if your tongue swells, not to anaphylactic, but if it starts to get swollen, a little bit of white, well, it might not be the right time for you to take it. Maybe in the future, but at least not for right now. And for everyone else, if it kind of decreases the bloating, it settles your stomach, well, then it could be the absolute best thing to take for you. Okay, so next up, hopefully I answered your question, Hippie Mom. And up next is Sharon P. Sharon's asking, what do you recommend for a colicky baby? Okay, so my first daughter was colicky, and so I had to do quite a bit of research on this. It hadn't come up before, specifically in my practice. Now it comes up quite a bit. It's funny how that works. But so here's what I found, and here's worked really well. So sometimes a colicky baby has what's called silent reflux. So it's basically like a little bit of acid reflux. They're not properly digesting or able to assimilate whether they're being nursed or not, whether it's a formula or breast milk from the mom. So here's the thing. Sometimes there's this muscle at the top of the stomach called the lower esophageal sphincter that doesn't stay closed well enough, and the acids can start to come back up into the esophagus. So that was certainly the case with my daughter. We gave her, this actually relates well to the previous question. We actually gave her a little bit of apple cider vinegar, very diluted for children, and the apple cider vinegar helped really, really well. But it didn't fix it permanently. What really helped, what really fixed things, is a specific probiotic called L. reuteri. I've mentioned it before, but it was probably about 100 episodes ago. So L. reuteri is a specific probiotic that's been linked to digestive-based issues. L. reuteri is phenomenal for adults, but also for children and colicky babies. So there's two different formulas, not as in milk formula, but formulas of L. reuteri that you can use, and they're both patented, I believe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link those up in the show notes, and I'll make sure that you get the exact ones that I used and I recommend in my practice to this day. So if you use those two things, they do help quite a bit, and that's what I recommend. Now, if that doesn't work, feel free to email me back, and we'll get on top of that as well. Okay, last question of the day. We're already 2 questions in. The last question is coming from Ed C. Ed is asking, how many total intervals should I complete in one workout? Okay, I do remember this question. It was quite a longer one, and I was just able to shorten it because basically what Ed was doing is Ed was doing like 20 to 24 intervals in one workout. And so here's what I want to say is, so again, it's a very American thing, a very type A thing, a very, I don't know, like pitta thing, as they say in Ayurveda, is that you're taking something, but you're taking it to too high a level. So you're taking a good thing, I should say, and that good thing doesn't mean that if you do a ton of it, it makes it even better. So the total amount of intervals I like to see in one workout is about 10. Now, give or take maybe 2 to 3 of those. So what you're going to do for a pure interval-based workout is you're going to do about a 5-minute warm-up. That'll be anything from some bodyweight lunges and forward and backwards and transverse plane. It'll be maybe some planking to activate the core. It'll be some hip swings, anything to get the body really warmed up and moving. And then after that, you're going to do one interval, and that one interval is going to be at about 50% of your max. So you're just kind of not jogging, but maybe a little faster than jogging through it, or if you're on the bike, about pedaling about 50% as hard as you could. And then you're going to do whatever your rest period is. Again, please tune back into previous Training Thursday episodes, the TT episodes, because that goes through all the different intervals that I recommend. So I'm not going to go through those today because I don't want to make this question too long. So you're going to take your rest period, and then your second interval is going to be about 75%, maybe 75, 80%, which means you're almost there. You're almost at your 100%, but it's just a little faster. This is so that you make sure you don't pull any hamstrings, you don't, tighten up those hip flexors, those TFL muscles too tight. And then after that, you're going to go all out. Those would be the 100% interval sprints. And again, so you're already 2 in. If you did another 8, that's going to take you to 10. That's enough for most people. It really is. Like, I can't imagine you doing, let's say like 8 30-second all-out sprints and not feeling like that was a great workout. And then you can go for a 5-minute like cool down after that, or stretch, or other things that you may enjoy doing, like foam rolling or active release technique, those types of things. But you could also say, okay, those 2 were my warm-up intervals, and then I'm going to do 10 more on top of that. And I would have no problem with you doing 12. So that's pretty much my max. You're going to get plenty out of that. It's not supposed to just totally destroy your body. I think that's plenty. That in itself is going to be a 30-minute workout with warm up and your intervals and then cool down. Also, just doing anywhere from 3 to 5 intervals after a weight workout, a resistance workout, can be absolutely fantastic as well. You're not going to do 12 after a 20, 30 minute, 40 minute weight workout, but you could do 3 to 5 just really all out good sprints, or you could do 1 Tabata, which is 8 total rounds of 20 on, 10 off. So Ed, hopefully that answers your question. That is exactly what I do myself, and that is exactly what I recommend to my body transformation clients, but also the athletes that I work with. Same exact protocol. They're just maybe different speeds and different intensities of what those intervals are. All right. Thank you, everyone, again for tuning in to another Cabral House Call. I'll be back real soon next week with another full week and full episodes of the Cabral Concept.
Are you ready to heal yourself and then go on to heal others? If so, the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute can help you discover proven functional medicine protocols that blend the best of 7 different healing disciplines from around the world. I personally share with you the exact handouts and protocols I use in my private practice that enable people to get well, lose the weight, and live longer, stronger. I want to pass this information on to the next generation of health coaches, and that is exactly why I created IHP. We are the future of the health coaching industry, and the skills and knowledge you will learn will make you an in-demand certified health coach anywhere in the world. Although we have many medical professionals taking the IHP certifications, no experience is necessary, and half our members have no previous health certifications. At the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, our motto is a health coach in every home. Our goal is that you take this knowledge and then share it with family, friends, loved ones, your community, or in a practice where you create a career you love and can be proud of. The global IHP community is filled with some of the most kind and caring people in the world, and we can't wait to welcome you into our world soon. For more information or to set up a discovery call with one of our IHP Health Coach graduates, simply head over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org.